wrong thing to say. "Get your ass over to that cash register." He bounced up and down on the balls of his feet, thrusting the gun toward her like a foil, and Sarah instinctively braced in anticipation of it going off. "Now!" Sarah gave up on the whole try to make a connection with the criminal concept, quickened her pace, and lowered her eyes while she thought desperately, trying to come up with an angle, some way to get out of this mess. She had managed to call 911 on her cell phone as soon as she'd realized that a robbery was going down at the front of the store. That was the good news. At the time, dog food in hand, she'd been fleeing toward what she presumed was the back exit, heading toward the hall that led to the restrooms and beyond. Before she'd had a chance to say a word in response to the operator's brisk 911, this guy had come charging out of the ladies' restroom and down the hall, and she had been forced to change her path and thrust the still-connected, she hoped, cell phone into her purse, where it remained. Since it was her cell, though, even if the operator didn't just automatically disconnect the silent call, even if the operator followed through, the address that would come up was her home. There was no way to connect the call to this location at all. That was the bad news. Even worse news was that even if the cops realized what was going down, even if they knew it was her, they probably wouldn't come anyway. Just at that moment, she was pretty sure she was riding the #1 spot on their least favorite persons list. "Dumb bitch," the robber said, the words just barely muffled by the mask. Sarah's hackles rose instinctively. Bitch was one of those words that pushed her buttons, even though she'd been called one often enough that she should by all rights have gotten over it by now. "Don't answer," she cautioned herself. She was almost even with him by this time, close enough to smell his acrid scent. Apparently, either he didn't believe in showers, or nerves were causing him to experience a serious case of deodorant failure. Whatever, he reeked. The aisle was only about 3 feet wide. She was going to have to put herself within a few inches of him to get past. Goosebumps raced over her skin at the prospect. Of course, they could have been caused by the frigid breath of the cold cases to her left hitting her arms and legs, which were bare because she was wearing shorts and a tank top in deference to the 90-degree heat outside. But she didn't think so. She was pretty sure that prickly feeling she was experiencing was pure, galloping fear. Which, in a weird kind of way, was actually a positive. She'd thought she'd lost her fear of death sometime during the past 7 hellish years. In fact, deep in the dark of night, when things got really bad, she could have sworn she was looking forward to it. It was probably the whole getting shot bit that was freaking her out now, which was perfectly understandable. Nobody in their right mind wanted to take a bullet, especially over a quick run to the store for dog food. "What, you got shit for brains or something? I said move!" Skeleton Boy glared at her. He was bobbing impatiently, making coins or keys or something metallic in his pocket jingle. "Yes, okay." Sarah kept her voice soothing as she ostentatiously picked up the pace. Her flip-flops made quick little slapping sounds against the hard, smooth floor. It was interesting to realize that the closer she got to him, to that unsteady gun, the harder her heart pounded. However her mind felt about it, her body clearly wasn't okay with the prospect of imminent death. She was breathing fast. She could feel herself breaking out in a cold sweat, and her stomach was tying itself in knots. Even her knees felt weak. What did it say about her life that being scared to death almost qualified as a good thing? "You okay back there, man?" The second robber, the one at the front of the store, called. "What you doing?" "Yeah," Skeleton Boy answered. "Everything's under control." His gaze swung back to Sarah. His voice dropped. "I'm warning you. Don't fuck with me. Run." The look in his eyes turned deadly as he pointed the gun at her. Sarah got the impression that now his machismo was at stake, and obediently